your sister is saying you're sleeping with your dad.
Look what you're doing to that girl out there. You're ruining her life.
Are you having a sexual relationship?
No, I'm not.
It's been rumors for years. He's sleeping in her bed.
You're a twisted, sick mind.
You're not her husband.
Are you in a sexual relationship
No,
with your
I'm
father?
not.
Is there any chance that he's the father of your newborn
No,
son?
there's not. I have nothing to lie about. None of this is made up. I told ya.
I want to say this first. You are so beautiful.
Oh, thank you. And the result is you're telling the truth.
Right.
She pops up with this 3-year-old son. That's not my baby.
How do you know that's not your
not
son?
mine.
How do you know that's not your son?
The reason why you might have a baby is because you called her up and took her to a hotel.
Condom.
Yeah, but
Condom.
It was off.
That's it.
this is your DNA test.
Yeah, it really did like that.
Read it.
Yeah.
Might change your life. Christine called my show desperate to prove to her family that she's not having a sexual relationship with her biological father, David. You see, 2 weeks ago, Christine gave birth to a baby boy, and her sister Katie immediately suspected that David was the boy's father. Katie says that Christine's relationship with her father is creepy and unnatural. But David says he has never slept with his daughter and wants to prove it today. Take a look.
I'm here to find out if my sister has been sleeping with her father and to find out if my nephew is, in fact, her dad's son. We've seen a lot of weird behavior. Dave walks around in his whitey tighties. Christine will walk around freely with no shirt on. He will sleep in her bed when she's at work. They text all day like they're married, arguing and fighting like they're married. You're a slut, you're a whore, you're a black eyes. Not by her baby's dad, by her dad. Even strangers will come up to them on the street and ask them, Christine and Dave, so how long you guys been together? How old is your sons? And he's like, oh, these are my grandsons. 2 weeks ago, my sister had a son who was supposed to come out African American. The baby comes out white with red hair, looking just like her dad. All her explanation was, is I must have been so drunk I don't know what happened. My mother called when she found out baby was not African American and said, so are you gonna test your dad now? Are we gonna get to the bottom of this finally after all these years? And so I'm here today. Dave is a weirdo. He's a creep to me. 7 years ago, I was out with my family celebrating. I come home to go to bed. 2 hours later, waking up with Dave in my house, in my bedroom, between my legs. I would never make up being sexually assaulted by anybody, especially somebody I know, but it still lives with me and affects my marriage on an everyday basis to this day. At the end of the day, I'm here to find out if my sister and her dad are having an incestuous relationship. I want them to get to the bottom of this, and I want my whole family to know the truth so we all can stop the secrets, the rumors, the arguing, the fighting. We all just want to know so we all can move on. Everybody also needs to know what I've been through. And what Dave did to me, it was real. I didn't make it up. I would never lie. And I just hope everybody finds out everything today and everything is out in the air.
What's your reaction to that?
I'm disgusted. I'm hurt. It's just tearing me up inside. I don't even have the words. I'm speechless.
So to be clear, Kate is your, you have the same mother,
Yes.
but you have different fathers.
Yes.
And David is your father.
Yes.
Okay. So I have to ask the question because this is the reason why you're here. Are you in a sexual relationship
No,
with your
I'm
father?
not.
No. Is there any chance that he's the father of your newborn
No,
son?
there's not.
Were you dating an African-American man?
I slept with the African American man that I've known for several years.
Okay. Did you think he was the father of your
Yes,
child?
I did.
It is a little surprising. I always say with babies, it's hard to tell, but if it came out with red hair and, totally white, I mean.
There's also a chance that it could be the father. The father could be my other 2 children, too.
Oh, your ex?
Yes, that I was with for 10 years.
Okay. So no way your dad could be
No way.
father and grandfather?
No.
Okay, he's just grandfather?
He's just grandfather.
Okay. So you're not for sure who your son's dad is,
It's
though.
between them two.
Why would your sister, whose idea was it to come on the show?
Mine.
Your idea?
My idea.
Because your sister is saying you're sleeping with your dad.
Yes, she is. I am not. My dad took me in when I was 2 years old. We have a close bond. I'm not going to kick my father out. He has nowhere to go. He didn't kick me out when I was 2 years old. He didn't put me in. He didn't
Well,
put
most
me in the
fathers
system.
don't kick their 2-year-olds out.
I mean, he didn't give me up.
Right. What about the fact that she says you walk around naked in front of
I
your
do
dad,
not.
that you sleep in the same bed as your dad?
I do not.
You're texting like a couple all day?
No, we do not.
So you were always clothed in front of him?
Yes.
Does he walk around in front of naked in front of you?
No.
Dad ever come on to you?
No.
But you did say that David did sexually assault you.
Yes, he did.
And I have nothing to lie about. None of this is made up. I told you.
But you did say that David did sexually assault you.
Yes, he did.
And I have nothing to lie about. None of this is made up.
What's your relationship like with Kate?
We had a very strong relationship. That's what hurts me. We was really close. We're all we really got.
Now, your sister Kate says on the tape about the story 7 years ago. She was out celebrating, she said. She came home, she went to sleep, and she woke up to David, who is not her biological father, performing oral sex on her.
Yep.
Yeah.
I found out with police officers coming to my door, coming to get him and ask him questions.
Right.
To me, if these accusations was true, a year after that, why would you come stay with us? Why would you stay with us? Why would
So
you?
she came to stay with you after this, because the police came, but they didn't arrest
They
your
did
father.
not arrest my dad.
There was a lack of evidence.
Yep.
And then you're saying a year later comes by, and then Kate came to live with you.
She came to live with me with family members, with some of her family members.
How's your family reacting to all this?
They're disgusted. My sisters, everybody's disgusted.
So you hope that you didn't take a lie detector test, right?
No.
But we took a DNA test,
Yep.
whether your father could be.
And I know he's not.
Right, you know he's not. But we also he took a lie detector test,
Yep.
right? Probably about the accusation of sleeping with you and sexually, well, according to her, sexually assaulting her. All right, you ready to meet your sister?
Yes, I am.
All right, let's bring out Katie.
Christine, I have nothing to lie about. None of this is made up. This is I would never personally lie about being sexually assaulted. And why would I come back to live with you? You're all I had.
You're
I'm
all
supposed
I
to learn
had.
to forgive
What
and
makes me
forget.
believe this?
Yeah, you're all
Katie,
You're all I got.
we all each other got. He
Yup.
didn't touch me, so
Yup.
what makes him touch you? It's hard for me to believe, Katie.
Christine?
What makes him touch you? We have other family
I
members.
had who you know he was sleeping with.
It's hard,
Who
Katie.
you know he was sleeping with. And my front door did not lock. And as soon as the police came and they took all the evidence, my
It's
doors,
hard to believe,
my
though.
lock,
I can't believe
and
it.
I know you can't
In my
believe
heart,
nothing.
I don't
you
believe
can't believe
it.
nothing either.
I don't
you
believe
still think
it.
your baby
I don't.
is African American. You
He
can't
is
believe
It's been proven on the Maury show that African Americans, twins come out different color. Twins come out white and African American.
You were there when we asked her.
Twins are different color.
Wait, let's
Twins are
bring Maury
different
out.
color.
Great.
Twins are different
Great.
color, African American too.
You called the show and say because
Okay.
you got a baby with red
Okay.
hair. It's
Katie.
been rumors for years.
Katie.
No.
You
know
know
you
what?
read your Facebook
I want you to just go off stage just for a second, okay? Why do you think that your sister is sleeping with her father?
Well, she's gone at work. He's sleeping in her bed, arguing, texting, arguing, and fighting.
So
like
she's not
a
in bed
jealous
with him.
No, he'll be gone and she'll sleep in a bed. He'll sleep in a bed.
Have you ever
Anyways,
seen
he's
them?
got his
Have
own
you
room
ever
upstairs.
seen them having sex?
No, I never seen that. But
Right. You ever hear him saying he had sex with her?
no, I never heard of
You
that.
ever heard her say she had sex with him?
No.
So what proof do you have?
I don't know, but they got a weird relationship.
Right.
My dad ain't calling me a slut and a whore and a bitch and worrying about who I'm having sex with. My dad ain't giving me black eyes. My dad ain't texting me all day. My dad ain't calling me all day.
So you think it's a possibility that she's sleeping with him?
I'm not saying, they got the weirdest relationship if nothing even is happening.
Okay.
Nobody understands
But
it.
you did say that David did sexually assault you.
Yes, he did.
And
I would never lie.
okay, what did he do to you?
I was out one night and I come home to my house like normal and wake up in the middle of the night and because I was still kind of drunk, realized what's going on.
He was performing oral sex on you?
Yes.
Okay. And you did call the police?
I did call the police. I did get a DNA rape kit done. They could not, because there's
They
no
didn't find any- right.
no penetration.
And they didn't find any of his DNA on you?
No, they just found his wallet and his ID on my floor. And the reason that they said that could have been there was because he was
stayed
there
in the
all
house.
night
Right,
before
right.
watching my kids.
Right.
So that's why there's no evidence.
Okay, but you say this happened.
And to this day, I still don't hardly
so
ever drink.
So as far as, to this day, you don't drink anymore?
I don't drink
because
once or
that's
twice
not-
a year.
Okay.
I don't even feel safe in my own house. I got a pit bull that sleeps in my bed all night long.
Okay. How about the fact that she doesn't believe that her father sexually assaulted you?
She doesn't believe a lot of things.
Yeah. Does it disappoint you?
But that's why.
And she said you guys are very tight, very close.
I took a lie detector test, and number one, I would never make up a story like that about anybody.
Right.
Because nobody deserves to go through that, especially when you're in your own house and you think you're safe at night and you're not. I have to live with that. I'm married and my husband deals with my PTSD effects every day, and I feel like it's my fault.
I certainly think the way you tell the story that something happened. I don't think you're
I
right
have
about
nothing to gain even being here. I didn't even want to come here because I think it's an embarrassing situation to even talk about, even if they're not doing anything.
that. Right.
Nobody just goes around accusing anybody of sleeping with their dad.
Can your sister and you, if it turns out he's not sleeping with her, can you guys go back to having a strong
I told her
sisterly
nobody
relationship?
wants this to come out.
Right.
You guys been doing stuff. Everybody wants to clear this
Well,
up
what
and
if it
move
comes out that
on.
they are sleeping together? What if the baby's David's?
Then she needs a lot of help. He needs to be locked up.
You're
ain't
a
her
twisted, sick mind.
husband. You're not her husband.
Are you having a sexual relationship?
No, I'm not.
That's not my baby.
How do you know that's not
That's
your
not
son?
mine.
How do you know that's not your son?
The reason why you might have a baby is because you called her up and took her to a hotel.
Condom.
Yeah, but
Condom.
It was off.
You're a twisted, sick mind.
You're not her husband.
are you having a sexual relationship?
No, I'm not.
Let's bring out David.
You ain't doing nothing but ruining our damn lives, man. You ain't doing nothing but ruining my daughter's life, man.
Punch
You
me.
ruining my
Punch me
grandsons.
like you
You
punch your
always
daughter.
come begging us for help, and then you sit there and you do this
My
and do this.
sister.
My
I
sister,
have
my
to.
daughter's out there crying right now because
In order to have a
you
relationship with her,
always
I
want
gotta
to
go
trash
through
out
you.
our lives.
You're not her husband.
You're trying
You are
out
not
our
her
lives.
husband. You
You're
ain't her
a twisted,
husband.
sick mind.
Excuse
You
me, I'm a
have been.
grown-ass woman.
Yeah.
Does
Act
she
like
even know how
it.
to pay
But you
rent?
come begging
Does
for
she know
us.
how to-
You come begging
She
our
is
house.
my sister.
You come
I
begging
should
our
have a
house every
relationship
time.
with my sister
And look what you're
without
doing to
you.
that girl out there. You're
Okay.
ruining her life.
And you ain't ruined mine?
I didn't ruin. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I took a lie detector
Yeah,
test. I
did
must
you?
prove my. Yup.
Yeah. And that's
sure
why it
did.
wasn't even tested,
Yep.
was it?
Yup.
Yeah.
I took a
Yeah,
lie
you're
detector
hurting my
test.
daughter.
I took a lie
Behind a
detector
shadow of a doubt.
Punch
You're
me
hurting
like
my
you punched her.
grandsons.
David,
Punch me
David,
like
You're
you
hurting my
punched her.
grandsons, man.
Punch me like
Look
you
at my
punched her.
daughter back there crying.
David.
And I ain't
David.
been?
No.
David, so talk to me now. And if you could just be quiet for a second, Kate. You're here, and probably, you know, people hear this and that's sick. You're accused of sleeping with your own biological
Yeah.
mother. Okay. Are you having a sexual relationship with
No,
her?
I'm not.
Okay. You know, Kate's here, she says, your behavior at the very least is very creepy, that you walk around each other in states of undress. She's topless, you're in your underwear.
There's no way, because I sit here and I take care of my grandkids, and I sit here and I do everything for my daughter, man. I'm the only one ever been there for my daughter, man.
So her newborn, no chance that you're the father.
No.
Okay.
None whatsoever.
Why do you think that you're being accused of this?
Because they're sick and twisted.
No, there's got to be a reason why.
No, because they're sick and twisted.
That's
because
the
of
only
our
reason why?
no, because of our relationship. We have such a bond, man.
It's
With-
like
with
no other.
Our, yeah, it's
He
like
ain't
no
lying.
other.
He ain't
You're
lying.
right. There ain't like no other.
Okay.
Look at that little girl, man. That's my baby daughter, man. That's all I've had for
My
the
daddy
last
called me a slut.
20
I'm
years.
worried about who
Well, you know what? I have to worry about who she's messing with. Because you want to know why? Because I don't want her hurt.
her sexual business is none of your
The
business.
hell it ain't. I got to worry about what my grandsons have to be around, okay?
She tells about an incident in 2007. She went out drinking, she comes home, goes to bed, and she wakes up with you performing oral sex on her.
Yeah, and that's
Did you do that?
No, I did not.
Okay, police were involved?
Yes,
You were
police was involved. They came, they took evidence, and they found no evidence that I did anything wrong, you know, so they dropped the case.
But they did find your wallet and ID in her room.
What? No, they did not find her wallet and ID. They found it on the couch.
Okay.
No, they did not.
Yes, they
no,
did.
they did not.
That's it. Exactly
They
what
did
the
not.
officers
So
told
you
me,
took your
is they found it on the
No,
couch.
they did not.
When you hear,
It makes me sick to my
I
stomach.
mean, you know, 2 million people a day overwatch the show, and you gotta stay here and say, I'm not sleeping with my daughter, which is pretty creepy, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
So you're hoping today that you clear your name, you take this lie detector test, this DNA test, and it all comes out that you're not sleeping with your daughter, that you're not the father.
I know I'm not the father. Okay. I'm not sleeping
Why
with
don't
my
we
daughter.
bring
This is
your
my
daughter,
man. This is my life.
Let's bring your daughter Christine back out.
This is my life, man. I know, baby.
I
It hurts, man.
I asked her what would happen if, like, you failed for sleeping with your daughter and failed for, not fail, but if you are the father, she said, she'd have to get a lot of help, you'd have to go to jail.
And I expect to, if that was the case.
Right. And you stated that you took a lie detector test concerning what?
To prove that I've never made up the story. Why would I make up a story
About David
about
sexually assaulting
somebody
you.
being sexually assaulting me?
So I wanted to ask you, Christine, you know whether you're sleeping with your father or not, so you know if you're telling the truth. But what if she would pass, and I don't know what his results are, if she's telling the truth that your father did sexually assault her?
I would be there for her and I would tell her I'm sorry.
Well, what would happen with the
her.
relationship for your dad?
I love my dad. I would be very disappointed in her and I would be distant.
Okay. DNA results for David with your newborn son who's up on the screen.
That's my baby.
My baby. That's my newborn. I
grandson.
should be enjoying
Your
it. I'm
nephew.
here. Your nephew.
And you want to ruin our lives over this.
Not me.
David came here today and he took a DNA test because he's accused of being the father
That
to his own
beautiful
grandson.
baby.
He took the DNA test and the results are...
You are so beautiful.
Oh, thank you. And the result is you're telling the truth.
Right.
She pops up with this 3-year-old son.
This is your DNA test.
Yeah, read that right there.
Read it.
Yeah.
Might change your life. He took the DNA test and the results are David is not the father of Christine.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Nobody wanted him to be. Nobody wanted him
Oh,
to
yeah.
be.
Yeah, you all wanted it to be. Every one of you. Your mom, you, everybody.
Nobody wanted
Yeah.
to know this.
Yeah, you wanted to
Nobody
ruin this
want-
girl's life because we have such a relationship
Sure.
together. Yeah.
I don't want to ruin anybody's
Yeah,
life.
you do.
David came here and took a lie detector test. And we asked him, have you ever had sexual physical contact with your daughter, Christine? And you answered no. Have you ever had sexual intercourse with your daughter, Christine? And you answered no. Is it possible that you could be the father of your Christine's newborn son, which we know the answer to that already, you're not. But whether you had sexual physical contact or if you had sexual intercourse with Christine, you answered no to both questions. And to both questions, it came back that you, David, told the truth.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, baby. That's my girl, man. That's the relationship we
He
have.
helped me
because you're so
graduate.
jealous.
He helped me
You don't have that with your
graduate,
father.
Steve.
You don't
I
have
know
that
how
with
you
your mother.
graduate.
You don't have nothing.
I know my dad lived
You
with
don't
my
have
dad.
nothing.
I
You know what? I
graduated
live with
thanks
her.
to my
What
dad.
is she
I
gonna do
take
when you
care of her
die?
kids.
I got
take care of her
What is she
kids.
gonna do
I
when
got
you
my
die?
kids.
This
I
next
got
part,
my
Take care of them,
kids.
you're
I
right.
do find this next part a little interesting, David.
Yeah.
We asked you, did you perform oral sex on Katie in 2007 while she was asleep? And you refused to answer this
No, I
question.
didn't. No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
Nothing
I
to
said
lie about.
because there was no evidence. That's what I said.
No, you refused to answer
no,
the question.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I said there was no
Nothing
evidence.
to
I
lie
said there was
about.
nothing
I got
proven.
Saying that there's no evidence and there was no
Katie,
charges
you
is
hang
not,
out, you talk to me.
not
Katie,
answering the
you
question.
smoke with him.
I didn't.
You
I
smoke
was
with
supposed
him.
to move on.
She
You
wants
smoke
to.
You're not
with him.
hooked up
No.
to the machine
If
right
somebody
now.
Oh,
did
no.
that, I wouldn't
She
smoke
wants
with
to
them.
live. She
If
wants to
somebody
live
molested me, I
and
wouldn't smoke
everything.
with them. I wouldn't have
Okay.
my kids around them, right?
She sits here and
Right?
lives
You
with
want
us.
your kids
She
around
sits
them?
here
Your
and lives with
sister,
us.
Katie, did come take the lie detector test, and she did answer the question.
Yeah.
We asked her, did David ever perform oral sex on you without your consent? She said yes, and the results for that question is she told the truth.
No.
Never came here.
No.
Just for the fact that you said you refused to answer the question,
I didn't
and you
refuse.
stood out here and you said there was no evidence, there was no charges, that makes me almost 100% believe that you're guilty of that.
No, I'm not guilty of that.
Just because there was no evidence and there was no charge doesn't mean you didn't do it.
No. The cops didn't find no evidence, no
Right.
nothing like that.
But
it was
she-
all
yeah.
hearsay. It
But-
was all hearsay.
But you wouldn't refuse. You refused to answer the question to Dan. She
Oh, I
answers it. She told the truth. You passed for not having sex with your daughter, which is fine and dandy. But then you won't answer the question whether you did this.
It's not that I didn't answer
Yeah.
the question.
You
I
refused
said
to
there was
answer.
no evidence.
You refused to answer.
It had nothing to do
When you
with
say
the
there's
case.
no evidence, you're
There
not
was
answering
nothing
the
to
question.
do with the case.
You are
I was
not
never-
answering the question.
Yes, I am. I did not do that.
Okay, so what I want to hear from you, Christine, now is your father failed for sexually assaulting your sister.
No, I did not.
And that's a pretty bad thing. She says she's suffered a lot of trauma over this.
Oh, yeah.
Is she faking it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So is the test not right?
I didn't say the test ain't right. I just know I didn't do it. So
Maybe you were drunk at the time.
we are both drunk.
You were both drunk.
Yeah.
Ah.
We are both drunk.
So you maybe performed this in a state of intoxication?
Possibility.
See, there you go.
Possibility. But you know what?
It's right for the other test, but my test is wrong, though, right?
No, but
My
you know
test
what?
is wrong,
He
though,
just
right?
We were both
My
drunk.
test is wrong,
He just
right?
admitted. He just admitted that he possibly did it while he was drunk.
And I told the
He
cops
just admitted that. Yeah.
And I told the detective
Okay.
that. So there.
Well, we don't know what you did because that happened 7 years ago. What we do know, though, is no matter what the outcome is, you are a dirtbag. Get off my stage.
And why have I came to live with you, Christine? I've always wanted a relationship
Me
with
too.
you.
What
with,
we
with
got?
you.
What we
with
got?
You.
What we got?
Your dad is attached to your hip.
She passed her lie detector test.
she did.
She told the truth.
I didn't want to come on America. No, I've been sexually assaulted.
I'm sorry, but I needed to know for me too.
So now that you know that your dad
For you.
did this to your sister, how are you going to handle that moving forward?
He's gonna have to move. I have children, but that's my right.
I hope that you two sisters can make peace. You said that you have this is all you have. Well, you should grab on each other as family. I mean, you got to work your way through this anger and be there for each other, right? Congratulations. Good luck to you. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
That's not my baby.
How do you know that's not your
not
son?
my-
How do you know that's not your son?
The reason why you might have a baby is because you called her up and took her to a hotel.
Condom.
Yeah, but
Condom.
It was off.
That's the
this is your DNA test.
Yeah, really doing like that.
Read it.
Yeah.
Might change your life. In 2011, Angelica had a one-night stand with a man named Eric. And she ended up pregnant. But Eric is denying her baby. And now Angelica's here to prove that Eric is the father. Take a look.
Angelica is trying to say that her son is mine. I met this chick at the club, Angelica. She was looking good, thick, you know. I was drunk, hazy-eyed, but whatever I seen, and I kind of liked what I seen. We went straight from the club, had sex. You know what I'm saying? I remember having a condom on. She claimed the next morning that she found the, you know. And now 4 years later, she pops up with this 3-year-old son talking about he mine. We never dated. One-time thing, drunk out our mind. I don't even know how she even remembered me, you know, but who can forget a face like this? I tuned in on Facebook. I see my picture plastered down the timeline. Do anybody know this guy? So having one of my friends knew me, you know, got in contact with me. That's when I met Angelica's son for the first time. Then I go on her timeline. Around the time she had her son, she at the hospital with some other red, yellow bone guy. You know, looking just like this boy. So I'm asking her, I called her, I was like, so who is this guy that's on the pictures on Facebook? She was like, oh, that's my neighbor. You ain't gotta worry about him. He ain't nobody. I don't understand how she even thinks for a second that this baby could be mine. First of all, chocolate don't make no vanilla wafers. You know what I'm saying? Me, who I am, I ain't making no little, you know, yellow bone babies, but he handsome though. So I'm like, baby, you know, he may be mine. If he's mine, I'm gonna take care of my kid no matter what. But I'm not gonna go alone on her word alone and just go start a layaway for her son that she just say is mine. You know, not gonna happen. I just want, you know, the truth to come out. And today, we're gonna find out if he mine. Today is today. Today.
I want to say this first. You are so beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Right? Right?
And the result is you're telling the truth.
Right. Right.
Thank you.
But
And you're a very attractive woman
thank
yourself.
you. But about that night, like Eric said, I met him downtown Memphis. We were having fun. I wasn't drunk. He came up to me. He dressed nice. He was looking nice. He was, you know, I can give him that. He was looking, you know, quite good.
I mean, he's a nice-looking guy.
Yeah, he's nice. He's a funny guy. You know, all that stuff. So I was like, why not? I can give him my number. So we exchanged numbers after, you know, we talked or whatever. And I went home. I left and went home, and he came and picked me up.
That night?
That night. And we went to this rinky-dink motel, stayed for about 2 hours, went home.
What'd you do in the hotel?
It took up 2 hours, so.
Ooh.
So.
Wow, I'm impressed.
The next
now,
morning.
is this a thing that you normally do, or?
No,
Yeah.
no. I'm the type of girl, I go to work, I go home. I go to work, I go home. So the one time that I decided to go out and have some fun, that's when this happened. I found out 6 months later. I didn't find out because my son, he didn't move, he didn't kick, I didn't have any morning sickness, he didn't slap me, none of that stuff. So I didn't even find out until 6 months later. A family member of mine.
You didn't notice you weren't having your period?
Well, it's always irregular.
Okay.
So
So when you found out you were pregnant, what was your reaction?
I was like, it's too late to turn back now.
Right.
When I met him, he didn't give me his real name. He gave me his nickname. So.
You didn't even know how to get a hold of this guy.
Right. I didn't have a telephone number. I didn't know any.
Real name.
Real name.
Nothing.
Middle name, last name.
You didn't know where he lived.
Address, telephone number, nothing.
How'd you find him?
I was on Facebook and something just told me to type in his nickname, East Memphis. So I typed it in and lo and behold, his picture pops up. That's him. That's him. So I took his picture off his profile. Yes, I sure did. And I posted it on my page. If anybody knows who this guy is, let me know. And it just so happened that my coworker, she's also.
Like wanted.
Yeah. Yeah. And
wanted for one night stand.
Yeah. Yeah. It just so happened that my coworker, she's also my Facebook friend. She said, you know him? I was like, yeah, I know him. Do you know him? She said, yeah, that's Eric. She gave me his real name. She gave me his telephone number. She called him up. I gave him a friend request on Facebook. He accepted it, and we talked from there.
And when you told him that he was the father?
Yes, I did.
And how did he react to that?
That's not my baby. We were only together one time. I had a condom on. Look, all it takes is one time.
Right. Oh, yeah.
All it takes is one time.
But was he the only guy you were sleeping with at that time?
Yes.
Yeah. And how old is the baby at the time when you tell him it's his baby?
2.
Oh, he's 2 years old. So then you tell him he comes over and he meets your son?
For the first time of March of this year.
And what do you want from Eric?
I don't want anything from him. I don't want to be in a relationship with him. I don't want anything because I've been doing this for 2 years by myself.
Right. Do you want Eric to be part of your son's life?
I want him to be in his son's life.
Right.
For 2 years, it's just been me. He's only known me. I want
and now
him
your
to
son's
know.
going to get to the point, who's my father?
Right.
Right. And you want to be like...
Right. I want him to know Eric's side of the family. I want him to know his other brothers and sisters and, you know, be able to go over there and have fun with them and not just be with me all the time.
Right. What if Eric called you and said, hey, I want to come over and...
That's fine.
I mean, go to a hotel?
No.
Okay. All right. All right, let's meet... let's meet the unknown man known as Eric.
That's not my baby.
How do you know that's not your son? How do you know that's not your son?
I was drunk, I was white boy, rock star, St. Patrick's Day, wasted. Wasted. Let's do it.
This is your DNA test.
Yeah, read that right there.
Read it?
Yeah.
Might change your life.
I was drunk, I was white boy, rock star, St. Patrick's Day, wasted. Wasted. That's not my baby.
How do you know that's not
That's
your
not
son?
my
How do you know that's not your son?
Okay, first of all, me being who hey, how you doing, Steve?
Good, how you doing, man?
Don't talk to Steve.
Yeah, now what I was saying. First of all, this ain't my baby. The
How?
man don't look nothing like him.
He doesn't have to.
If this, yes he do.
Long
He
as the
do.
DNA matches.
See, see, this is my thing. My DNA is strong. My genes strong, chocolateness. You chocolate yourself now, come on, let's be for real.
That doesn't have anything to do with anything.
He is very yellowish.
Oh,
You know
come
what I'm
on.
saying?
Show
He
that
is.
baby again.
So please show that
He ain't
baby.
that yellow.
Look at my baby.
Yellow.
Look at my baby.
Oh, yeah, he's a handsome guy, true enough, and I do make beautiful
Is that not a
children.
chocolate baby?
That's not a chocolate baby. I have a chocolate baby now. I got 2 chocolate babies. So if this was my first kid, you know, then I'd be like, well, you know what? Maybe so or maybe not, but I got 2 kids. Look at that man. He handsome, true enough, and I make handsome.
babies.
I do that, but he is not. Look, he ain't got no gap.
He does have a gap.
He ain't got no gap.
He has a gap.
He ain't got-
When was the
he ain't
last
got-
time you looked at him to see he has
don't
a
have-
gap?
I'm looking at it right there.
Go look at it.
Let me see up close myself.
Go look at it.
That ain't no gap.
It's a gap in his mouth.
This
But
is a gap.
teeth don't mean anything.
Yeah, it means a lot because my daughter has one, my son has
Okay,
one.
but-
That doesn't mean
all right,
anything as long as
you
the DNA matches, because that's yours.
So you really believe that it's not your child?
I don't see how it can happen. Had one
Well,
night
because you had
stand.
sex with her.
Condom.
Yeah, but
Condom.
It was off.
How you know it was off?
You know it was off.
Because you found it the next morning. How I know you ain't tied it up, put it in your pocket, preserved it for later?
Did you see me do that? Did you see me do that?
I didn't see you do nothing.
Okay then.
I'm looking for I'm like, where the condom? You like, I don't
It's
know.
a one night stand. You think I'm gonna trap
not
you?
an NBA
You think I'm gonna
player, man.
trap
I'm
you?
not thinking about trap. I'm
I'm not trying to trap you.
I'm not saying you trying to trap me. I'm just saying maybe you wanted a child by a handsome chocolate man. And maybe, that's all I'm saying.
the reason why you might have a baby is because you called her up and took her to a hotel.
Maybe so, but I still protected myself and
But
her.
what I'm saying, it wasn't like she was trying to trap you. She went home.
She wanted me to call.
Oh, man, come on.
Come on now.
Come on.
She wanted me to call.
Yeah, and you wanted to call.
Yeah, I was drunk. I was white boy, rock star, St. Patrick's Day, wasted. Wasted. It wasn't clicking. It wasn't click-clacking.
So you trying to blame it on the alcohol?
I can blame it on
It's not
alcohol.
a legitimate excuse.
It's not. I'm not trying to make an excuse.
Well,
I'm just giving you the facts of life.
but
I
you-
was drunk.
Would you have slept with her sober?
July
Yeah,
16th.
Yeah.
My whole thing was.
So you met the little boy, right?
Yeah, I did.
And you have any connection with him?
He cool. He a cool little guy. I like him. You know.
Would you like him to be your son?
Seriously, Steve.
Yeah.
You gonna ask this?
Yeah. It's my job. They write it on the card.
I don't
Yeah,
want no
that's
more
good.
kids.
Right.
I already got
I can
3,
understand that.
you know.
Yeah.
But, you know, if he mad, you know, he cool, you
And
know.
she said, and what she said makes a lot of sense. She's like, look, I'm not looking for anything except that he's 2 years old and he's going to start asking who my father is. She wants him to know who, like, your family. And
Well, who was the dude on Facebook?
That's my neighbor.
So, okay, so he came and took pictures. Your neighbor came over there the next day or a couple of days.
But what do you-
My
Now,
son was 6 months old when I
He
took
looked
that
just like
picture.
him. He looked just like him.
how about if it is your son? You're you like missed out on a couple years of his life, not through any fault of your own, because he didn't even know.
Right.
But I mean, you know.
And I don't blame him for that.
And
I don't blame him for that at
will
all.
feel terrible.
Right.
Because one thing
But if you are the father, you're going to make up for lost time.
oh yeah, of course. Take
All
him
right.
straight to the stove.
Now, I'm thinking, will you really tell him the truth about you go to work, go home,
Yeah.
go
No.
to work, go home?
Ain't nobody doing that.
No,
Especially
it's
not in Memphis. Ain't nobody doing
No,
that.
no, man.
Talking about she just go to work, come home, go to work, come home. And so happens one day I'm gonna go have a one night stand. Come on,
How
now.
the hell you know what I do?
You right, I don't. You right, I don't know. But who does that? If so bad, it's so
How do you
straight.
know
if
what I
everybody-
do?
If you so 12 and 6, straight up and down.
I never said
You
that.
not
but
finna
what
go
I
to work
said
every
was
day
I
and
go,
then I'm
I
gonna
go
step
to
out
work,
tonight. I'm just gonna
I
sleep with
go
this guy.
home,
He funny,
I
he
go
look
to
good.
work,
I gotta say,
I go home.
me and my wife were in Memphis last year. We had a great time.
Yeah,
Wonderful
Memphis,
city.
it's all right.
Yeah, it's
all right.
nice.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right.
We had a good time.
What's that right there? What's that right there?
This is your DNA test.
Yeah, read that right there.
Read it.
Yeah.
Might change your life.
Yeah, I need life change. Go ahead. What's that right there?
This is your DNA test.
Yeah, read that right there.
Read it.
Yeah.
Might change your life.
Yeah, I need life change. Go ahead.
Guess who was going to work, going home, going to work, going
Come
home?
on.
Eric, you are the father.
Thank you. Can I get that apology?
No.
Can I get that apology?
No.
Well, apologize to my son then.
And now you know that you're the father. And it's important for this little guy, like she said, he wants to
What
know.
a chromosome thing is that they be showing?
It don't matter. The results right there.
This is just a paper.
The results are right
you
there.
are, come on, you know you're the father. You gotta start.
Nah, I really don't.
Yeah, you really do. DNA test, man, there's no.
It don't matter.
Oh, here you go. Probability.
What's the percentage? What's the percentage?
99.98. So you know what that means.
Great job, Angelica.
But you say now you want to be a part of the little boy's life, right?
Yeah, I ain't got. Yeah, that's my guy. I guess.
Yeah,
That's
he's your guy.
crazy, man.
Now you got to take him home and introduce him. You got a couple other kids, right?
Yeah.
So he's got some already made siblings, right? I'm sure you got a big family.
That's all I want. That's all I
you want
want.
Thanksgiving, right? First
all I
Thanksgiving
want.
with
Yeah,
Dad?
that's all I want.
That's cool. That's all cool. I just need to know though. But it's still unbelievable to me.
See? And that's what I try to tell people.
Yeah.
You slept together one time. And you got a baby.
That's all it takes.
But I had protection though. How is that?
Yeah, well, you weren't very good at using it, man. Good luck to you. Good luck to you.
Thank you.